almost didn't throw the white flag. I was going to give you one more lap.
The 9 running on the tires. He'll slide up off of turn number 4, Jerry. You've got a new race leader, Matthew Loeb. Your race leader with 4 laps to go.
All right, who told you to tell that joke?
Well, welcome back on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's?
Times, yes. I saw a meme or something. Somebody said it's Valentine's.
Valentine's.
Did you get anybody special?
Did you
anything?
Did you get it?
Did you get any special things for Valentine's Day, Ryan?
No.
What about you?
I'm
Brett?
single.
Did you get?
Not mingling.
Did you get or give?
Did you get?
I have.
I figured you'd be asking me
Since
that.
this will probably air after the fact that I did it.
That you did get?
I gave. I'm giving. I'm giving.
Give
today.
or receive. Pitcher, catcher.
I saw on the news this morning that they're talking about record spending on Valentine's this year. Record spending. People are spending.
People are buying records?
A record amount of money.
Oh.
On Valentine's
45s
Day.
or
and
33s.
The average person, for all of you givers out there, the average person is spending $186 today on Valentine's for their Valentine's Day.
Wow.
Well, I took that average down by about $186.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm taking. I'm a negative 192.
But I did get a picture of Jerry and Ryan's Valentine's dinner tonight.
We're going for dinner. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah.
Can I use the forbidden word just this once, Brett?
That's hilarious.
Fudge.
Today is the triple double as well.
It is a triple double. It's season 3, episode 2.
Yeah. You made a Caitlin Clark
Yes.
reference.
Well, yeah.
earlier.
Is that a record she can set Thursday night at the game?
Is that when she's
only,
gonna?
she's only 8 points away.
8 points.
She's gonna break it. They figured.
I can't believe she threw the Nebraska game to get the record at home.
Well, why would you want to set any?
Are you one of those conspiracy theorists?
Well, why do you think Valentine's Day is 3 days after the Super Bowl?
But not always.
Why?
And they made it, well, they rigged it so the Chiefs would win because of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And then they moved Valentine's Day conveniently to right after the Super Bowl.
Are they getting married today or something?
I'm just saying.
Oh, maybe there's going to be a proposal at the parade on the 15th, which is tomorrow, which could be
Quite possibly.
today whenever you watch this.
If you watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody listens.
I did get a phone call last night from Randy McDaniel out in California. Said, "Hey, when you guys going to do another podcast? We haven't had one for a while." So
Does he want to come on with Jergens or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Randy's going to ride on the chalk machine with
Chalk machine.
Yeah, have the buddy seat
They're
on
going to
it.
kiss and make up.
I was just
Be
a
like
fair.
one of them Zambonis where you can drive people
Oh
around.
shit, that would be cool. Can you imagine if we had made that into a little Zamboni and then you could have somebody ride with Jergens next year on that? We could sell tickets.
At the UNO hockey games, they have a miniature Zamboni that goes out and picks up the fish after they score the first goal of the game.
Sweet.
Wow.
So there we go.
They don't
used
want
to
to
have
pick
the-
them up by hand.
Yeah, we used to have the tan bony there at the ride along. They took an old Zamboni and put a platform on it for the wild, and you could buy to ride on it.
That'd be kind of fun.
Corporate outing or something.
That would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I have to buy a ride for Valentine's Day myself. 'Cause
You should be well and rested up. You slept
Here
most
we
of the
go.
way over
I did
here.
not. Actually, I knew you were going to say that. I slept for about 10 or 15 minutes.
At a time for every mile.
Time.
No. How else do you
The
think?
only thing that woke you up
the only
was Jim's
thing
calls.
that the only thing that I knew would keep you from talking to me would be faking sleeping. So I sat there in silence.
So when you're with Jerry, you usually fake it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, many times.
I hate you all.
I
know,
a
I
pretty
read-
powerful word.
I read that on your Facebook, Ryan. You know, Ryan
he
only
fakes?
has like 6 friends in the world. And he gives initials for who he thinks these 6 important people are.
No, people I trust my life.
It's like JLR.
I'm 2 of them.
Yeah, there was
a second.
SQRBJ.
I'm reading this and I'm like, there
There's no B.
ain't no B on there.
I'm
like,
on there
going,
twice.
wait a second, and I'm like trying to figure who these people are.
You were? You were trying to figure them out?
Yes, and then
There's no B.
Ryan comes back later, because I had to go back and check it again. And Ryan comes back later and said that I think he added J for Jerry or something like that.
No, I had the math was off.
And so I'm thinking the whole time, okay, he's going to come back and add a B. He's going to add a B.
Nope.
He's going to add a B. Nope. Didn't add the B. So I see how
People I trust with my life. Should I trust you with my life?
Well, you could. Oh. I don't need acknowledged for it, though. Shoot.
So after the Super Bowl, the Chiefs won.
They did?
Yeah.
Well, duh.
It was fixed. No, is that what people? That's what people are saying.
I don't know, but there is a video
I
afterwards,
saw-
a minute 39 in the fourth quarter, where it was. The video shows it technically wasn't a first down, but the Chiefs
Did you
got a
see
first
that?
down.
Yeah, but it was. They explained it.
More conspiracy
They
theories.
explained it. My God,
The guy on Facebook didn't. Though.
Facebook is full
people
of
are
them.
Jesus
conspiracy
Christ.
theorists are awful.
It's
Just
horrible.
awful.
I mean, it's been fixed.
People can.
The Packers
Don't get me
win.
started. You read my Facebook. Don't get me started. I could ramble all frickin'
Oh, that's
day.
right. You
on
did
that.
write a
It was a
novel.
very accurate post, by the way. I thought I enjoyed reading it because I
I'm
thought
only
it
on
was-
chapter 2.
Yeah, no shit. I'm still trying to read it.
Jim's got far enough. He
But
wants somebody to read it.
You know
for
the
him.
one thing that
He
I
just
thought.
looks at the pictures.
I don't want to like dwell on the Super Bowl, but it made me think. The Super Bowl is the one thing that everybody watches,
Yeah.
but for different reasons. I mean, if you like a TV show, you watch it because you like the plot, you like the actors, you like whatever. People watch the Super Bowl because it's a sporting event. There are people who hate sports who watch the Super Bowl
Because there's a concert.
because there's a concert at halftime. And what other show do you watch
for the
that
commercials.
you watch for commercials? None. I said it brings in everybody for different reasons, so opinions are bound to differ. But yeah, I just don't get me
You
started.
know what I
on the
liked
Super
about
Bowl.
the halftime show? What? Okay. Some Lil Jon.
Little John.
Like,
Yeah.
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 It's one of those songs that just sticks in your mind.
What? Remember when the Dave Chappelle did the parody of things like okay?
Chappelle does some good stuff.
Oh man.
He's hilarious.
Charlie Murphy.
So what are we going to talk about today besides Valentine's Day and Super Bowl? I do enjoy this. I enjoy any time the Chiefs play. I really do. And I enjoy because I text Jim. And if the Chiefs are losing,
That's enough to not
It
make
is.
you ever watch
It's-
football again.
we all know those who know Jim have all met Krabby Jim. And when the Chiefs are playing and they're losing, it is a level of
Krabby Jim.
crabby. It is a level of crabby like no other. And so they were down 10-3 or 10 something at halftime, and I was watching it on my phone because I was coming back. I was traveling at the time, and so I just shot Jim a text. I can't even remember what I said. And after the Mahomes interview in the first series of the second half, Jim's text was, "This game's over." That was what it was. That's what it said. This game's over.
Game's over.
And I just laugh. I'm just like, oh God, he's so pissed off.
Oh yeah, typical fan.
So like after they
Yes,
score
I
the winning,
was.
So after they win the scoring or they score the winning touchdown, I just texted Jim, "This game's over."
It was funny
It really
though.
was over at that point. but-
Monday
It
when I
was.
talked to Jim. I think I talked
But
to
he
you
wasn't
3 or
Krabby
4
Jim.
times on Monday. I've never. I mean, you're not normally happy anyway. I've never heard him happier. Monday was in a great mood, laughing and joking about everything. It was really kind of strange.
Are you going to the
I would-
parade?
I'm going to probably pass.
Why? Big super fan like you?
Yeah. I don't know about driving down there for a parade.
Is Taylor going to be there?
Oh, I'm sure she will be. That's where the engagement's happening.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You gotta fight for your right
Viva.
to Taylor.
As long as they keep winning Super Bowls, who the hell cares?
Yeah.
Everybody will
I
care
was
if they.
I
keep
was
on.
going for the 49ers.
I was too. I wanted San Francisco.
I mean,
About the
what won in the game was a
The
block,
Brock
was a
Purdy
blocked
story's
field
pretty
goal.
good. The Brock Purdy
it
story
is.
good. Did anybody else
it
read
was
that?
an extra point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the extra point was a big deal.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have mattered if they'd have covered that punt.
There's all kinds
Or
of
that
things
kick. I
that
mean, there were
coulda,
so
woulda,
many,
shouldas.
yeah.
I mean, again, how do you script all that? The people that say, "Oh, the whole game is
Pacheco
scripted."
doesn't fumble on the 10-yard line.
McCaffrey
First-
fumbles. Pacheco
First fumble of the
fumbles.
year.
Right.
And
It's
there's
crazy.
It's just a lot of things about that game where you just go, oh, one little thing would have changed everything.
Which was most games.
Yeah,
I mean, and
which
you
is
can,
anything.
and any mistake or anything that could have been corrected the first 10 minutes of a game, that would have dictated the entire rest of the game. I mean, that same team could have won by 50 or they could have lost by 50. You just don't know momentum. You can't predict that.
You cannot. It's a good game. And I still think the Brock Purdy story is pretty damn cool.
It is.
They say, there was a post on Facebook or somewhere I read where they were like comparing his salary to other quarterbacks in the league, and like Mahomes made in like the first, it's some stupid amount.
Number of passes or
No,
something
it's
like
like
that, a number of minutes.
It's like the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was living with his
San
parents or
Francisco.
some weird thing.
He got a roommate.
Yeah,
in San
didn't he?
Francisco.
I mean,
But
he was like the last pick in the draft that year for the. And the
Yeah.
Niners are
Mr.
like, we'll take him.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Like Mahomes makes more money in the first 16 seconds of a game
game.
than what Purdy made the entire year.
Yeah.
And they just started doing it with all the NFL quarterbacks. And there's some in the NFL that I didn't even know who they were, that were making more money in the first quarter than what Purdy made again in the whole year.
And Purdy's
So it's-
locked in for another year, isn't he? Don't they have 3
he's-
years
he's got
before they
some
can
weird-
renegotiate?
yeah.
Rookie contract, yeah.
Rookie
Okay.
contract.
Bad thing would
Isn't
be
that
if
crazy?
something happened to him next year, before he could renegotiate. Hopefully he
it's
doesn't
just-
and continues to play well.
It's a good story. And those stories are really, it's good to see good stories like that. People like to hate on Mahomes because he's so good.
Do you remember what you told me,
but-
Jim, when I talked to you Monday morning when I said I wanted San Francisco to win? Your exact words to me? It was the forbidden word,
Oh,
followed by Brock Purdy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want
I
to
got
be so mean.
so sick of them showing Brock Purdy's parents in the stands.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Although every time they showed Taylor, he was running for a new bag of Cheetos.
What did they say? They showed her for 56 seconds total in the Super Bowl, but people were still pissed off about it and talking about it.
Well, I thought it was kind of a little disrespectful
Crazy.
that they went from Reba to Taylor when Reba was singing the anthem, and they showed. I thought, it's
Yeah, but they pan around during the national anthem anyway.
I wish they'd show the streaker guys or the guys that run the field.
Yeah, that was funny.
I saw a TikTok of that guy.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
you
I did
see
too.
that?
Yeah, I did
he
too.
placed a bet.
That he was going to do
He
it.
placed a bet.
Yeah.
There was a.
Well,
what
there
was
was a bet on there. You could bet if there was going to be a streaker or not.
So
he bets
guaran-
on himself
So he bet on himself,
and then did
so
it.
he knew that there would be a streaker. He
He's no
bet.
dummy.
I think he bet 10,000 and made 10,000.
No, he bet 20, and the ticket cost him 10, so he still was going to make 10.
Yeah, so he still
But now if all this shit's true on TikTok, they're not going to pay him because
It's like fixing the game.
Yeah, it
Fixing
is.
the
It's like fixing the game. But
Technically.
what about was he the first one? Because there was two of them. The one guy broke the rules because you don't wear white pants
After
Labor Day.
after Labor Day.
Yeah, so he was.
It's always after Labor Day.
Yeah, but there was two of them that went to the field.
It's before Labor Day.
Yeah,
It needs to be between Memorial
Memorial
Day.
Day,
and
Labor
They
Day is when you
They
can wear
didn't
white
show him. I
pants.
just remember Romo saying something like, "Oh, these
Oh,
got
a streaker.
streaker.
Oh, a half
A
streaker.
half streaker." He said, "Well, he's a half streaker."
Well, there's a reason they don't show them. They don't want to encourage the behavior.
Oh
Jerry.
yeah.
Yeah.
They don't-
I couldn't imagine
still are gonna
paying
do it.
$10,000-$12,000 to get into the game and then getting thrown in jail.
Right.
Yeah. I saw
Without
that.
even getting to watch
Again,
the-
another thing on
watch the game.
Facebook where it's asking people, somebody's asking people, he's on my reels. I'm addicted to Facebook reels. And it said something like, "What'd you pay for your Super Bowl ticket?" And he's like, $13,500. And they just went right down the road.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 13,000. You see those ticket prices and you're like, do people really pay that? And yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Supply and demand if they're willing to pay for it.
Well, it's no different.
I mean, it's a lifelong dream. for
Caitlin Clark
everybody.
tomorrow
Yeah.
night. They had tickets close to $10,000
$10,000
courtside
for
at Carver
courtside
Hawkeye
seats.
Arena tomorrow night.
for women's
Yeah,
NCAA
but that's-
basketball game.
It's Hawkeye fans. Hawkeye fans are weird.
Well,
Well,
should have bought.
Nebraska fans are taking
They
credit for.
they cheer for a football team that'll go all the way across the United States to a bowl game and not score a single point, and they'll follow them. I mean, it makes us people in Iowa look stupid.
I don't think that makes Iowa.
It does. I'm not a big Iowa Hawkeye football fan. If you haven't figured it out,
Well,
Like
you're a
Jim-
Dallas Cowboys fan, so your opinion is really moot to
Hey,
begin
since
with.
1996, Taylor Swift has had more appearances at the Super Bowl than the Cowboys.
I saw the memes for that. The coolest
You sent
thing.
me that.
I am a Post Malone fan, and the coolest thing I thought of the Super Bowl was Posty wearing
That was pretty
a
cool.
Cowboys,
Until
jacket.
Brittany
Until Brittany
made her
Mahomes got
take it
it.
off.
That was the best. Oh well.
So you're saying the Cowboys did make an appearance in the
They
Super
did.
Bowl?
Yeah, the
96.
Cowboys. They were with Posty.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
all right. The Chiefs
speaking
can
of-
have Taylor. The Cowboys will take Post Malone. I think that's a fair. That's a very fair trade. You can have Taylor Swift. My
Hey,
daughter
speaking of
loves
big-
Taylor Swift. All the
Speaking of
friends
Dallas,
that
we're gonna be
race
close to
and all
there.
that kind of stuff.
Speaking
We
of
are.
big
We're going to
wins,
Is
Texas.
this
I'm
a
flying there
segue?
tomorrow
Is this a
night.
segue?
Yeah.
speaking of big wins, though,
To Texas.
What happened?
we had obviously the Chiefs, but we had a big win up in Hancock County, Iowa.
We did.
Oh, Darren Toot.
Darren Toot
Darren Toot
take over the reins.
pulled out the W.
Up in Britt.
Yeah,
Darren's
it's going
been
to be
around
great.
for a long time. Darren called me and we talked a little bit. And one of the things that I've always liked about Darren Toot, I've known him for a long time. I don't even know how long, since I've been here. You know, he even if he's pissed off, he still comes across as a respectively pissed off.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't take any personal shots or low blows if he doesn't agree with anything. And whenever you race, you always deal with people that get in that situation. But what I've always liked about Darren is he's always had, I thought, a very solid perspective on racing, whether he's racing himself, whether his son who races is racing, or whether he's running racetracks because he's done it before. I've always thought that he's been very, very, he's a good guy for the sport. So when he called and said he was looking at getting Britt, I was like, yeah, that's good for Britt, Iowa. It's good for Hancock County Speedway. It's good for IMCA racing.
Good for racing, period.
Racing in general. Yeah. So it's good to see him taking the reins over in Britt. It's a great racetrack. They put a lot of money into that place in the last few years. And, you know, obviously the Night of 1,000 Stars, and I don't know if we talked about this before, but, you know, for us, the Night of 1,000 Stars has somewhat put Britt on the map for many, many years.
30 to be exact. I think this is the 30th year of the.
Yeah, for many years. And you know the story. You know how that name was that race
Oh, yeah.
was named, right? We talked about that, right?
Yep.
All right.
Because it was, I mean, the original spot of the Night of the 1,000 Stars was not Hancock County.
Correct.
Speedway.
It was in
It was Boone.
Boone. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's
And
great.
then it weathered out, and then went to Brett.
So there goes everybody's idea that all we do is love Boone here at IMCA. We actually moved the Night of 1,000 Stars to Britt, and it's stayed there forever.
Was that really 30 years ago?
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
It's been
no,
since
yeah.
I've been here.
95.
Yeah.
Is that 30?
Close.
This would be the 30th year then.
Yeah,
it started.
this would be the.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm old.
95.
Yep.
The governor was there when they opened it.
Crazy.
Terry Branstad back in the day.
I remember Dan and
in
Sandy
China now.
Danielson, who ran that place for
Good
years.
place for him.
Yeah.
They're super nice people. Dan and Sandy both
Oh, yeah.
ran it for years. Went to banquets up there. Jim went to the Algona banquet up there was it last weekend, Jim? And then you went over.
Yeah.
You went to Spencer and Britt
Spencer on Friday.
and
it
Alta's
was-
banquets.
Yeah,
Ow.
Clay County, Alta, and
Alta. Oh, Alta.
and Britt all had theirs on Friday night at the Clay County Fair.
Banquet
And
Jim.
then
Banquet gym.
Algona on Saturday night.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Making
I liked
our
it.
rounds.
I really did.
Yeah, we were making our rounds.
It's good to see everybody in a situation other than a racetrack at times. You know what I mean? A lot more relaxed, a lot more laid back, and
You're saying you didn't get your ass chewed? Is that what you're saying? Nobody was pissed
no.
off about anything?
everybody likes the kinder, happier, gentler Jim.
Yeah, the Chiefs winning Jim.
Yeah.
We'll call him. If the
Well,
Chiefs
they
are
hadn't
winning,
won by that
that's
time.
the
I
Jim
was-
you want at your banquet. If the
That's
Chiefs are
right.
losing, you don't
Tell
want
him to
them at
stay
your
home.
banquet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay home, Jim.
No, they were great banquets. Everything went great. It was a fun time for everybody. Sometimes it gets hard trying to, you picture the racers without their driving suit on and stuff like that. See them kind of dressed up, but no, I'm glad I went.
Yeah, and speaking of 30th anniversary, we've got the icebreaker coming up this weekend in Abilene.
Abilene.
And you're flying to Dallas then? Is that where you're flying?
Yeah, then we
Driving?
get on a plane and then go down.
Are you flying right to Abilene?
Yeah.
I've told that
Never.
story. I don't fly to Abilene straight anymore. I'm flying to Waco.
Yeah, you got to drive from Waco, though.
You going to Abilene?
It's cheaper for me to fly from Cedar Rapids to Waco through Dallas than it is to fly from Cedar Rapids to Dallas and stop. So I just fly all the way to Waco. Yeah. Yeah, it's cheaper to fly to Abilene than it is to stop in Dallas as well. But my wife had originally planned to go down. She was going to go at the same time. She canceled that. She's staying home with Ken. So but I didn't change my flight because it's too expensive to change it. So I'm just going to fly to Waco and drive from Waco over to Abilene on Friday morning.
Can you stop and pick up some kolaches on the way?
At West? I don't really go through there going to Waco.
Going
to Abilene. It's kind of north, about 14 miles.
I know,
15
but
miles.
I could go for some kolaches.
I could stop in. I'm trying to think where it's at. I don't think it's Stevensville. I drive through Stevensville, but the original Dr. Pepper was.
Oh yeah, they got a Dr. Pepper museum.
Yeah, the Dr. Pepper museum. I think it's closed now, though. I don't think it's open anymore.
Is it?
I went through it. There's a Dr. Pepper museum in Waco. I don't know if any of you guys know that, but downtown Waco is
it
a
by the
Dr.
silos?
Pepper. Yes, it is actually, like 2 blocks from there.
I remember last time we got to kolaches at West. It was the day after the car had driven through the front door.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
it happens. They
Yes.
just had a lady do that at church here in Bend Ventnor. Drove her car right through the front of the church.
Which church was that?
Did she get
The one on C Avenue.
Wow.
Ran
been in
over
the
2 air
communion line a
conditioning
little
units,
bit.
and I don't know who did it, but it ran over 2 air conditioning units and broke right through the brick wall.
Oh my God.
It had her to the gas, whoever it was.
Hey, you don't want to be late for church.
Might have been an upset Chiefs fan.
Yes.
You don't want to be late for church.
No. So back to Abilene. Yeah, I'm going down there. You're going to Abilene.
G-Wagon's going
Yep, Garrett's going down. So we'll be on IMCA TV streaming the Icebreaker this weekend.
Friday.
Friday and Saturday night.
I talked to Rob, and everything's track's coming in great.
Yep.
Should be a great show.
Yeah, they've actually had a couple practices.
Yeah.
So I got some time on the racetrack.
Yep.
Nope.
What?
So that'll be fun.
Okay.
What else we got going on?
Let's see.
Oh,
Well, you know,
you got
after
Mojave Valley's racing, right?
Who?
Yeah,
What's
I got
that?
the Arizona tour that
Mojave Valley.
Mojave Valley.
Out of Mojave. Yeah, that's a fun place to go to. I've been there once. It's a perfect little racetrack.
Yeah, it is.
I've just seen it on IMCA.
It's in a good place too. I mean, it's a cool place to go visit. There's stuff to do there besides racing,
Casinos.
and the lake. I mean, it's a pretty cool area. But
And casinos.
in the casinos.
Casinos.
Speaking of casinos, hey, when I was on vacation last weekend, I was playing roulette. You know, the electric one where they have it's around. You know,
Yeah.
like live roulette, but I was playing electric roulette because that's all they had. And the lady sitting 2 slot machines beside my wife won $30,000. I was like, "Is that real? Did she really win $30,000?" And it was.
I
30 grand.
seen a
Can you imagine
show
that, winning $30,000.
where they showed how a roulette dealer could actually cheat the machine, the wheel. He could pick the ball up and move it out, and then it would show up on one of the video satellites or whatever, however they do that. And he would just tell his friends what to bet on, and boom,
That's
they
crazy.
came in.
I know they can get it close to if somebody's spun the ball a lot, and people who play a lot of roulette, how many they count the revolutions of the wheel going one direction versus the ball going the other.
So it's like counting cards?
They'll count it. They'll count it down, and it'll spin 17 times, 20 times. I kind of like that a little bit. I'll count first 2 times. I sit down a few times. I'll count how many and where it's fallen, and then watch where they release it. But you get on one of those automatic machines. To me, it's like automatic card shufflers.
Yeah.
I think that if you can start your car from space, which you can, that they can fix those card readers. You know, the shufflers or whatever they are. They just fix them.
The shuffler?
Yes.
You think
I
you
would
think that they
I
can
will
fix
not
the way
play.
the card goes?
Absolutely. I think
would
it
you
is
not?
way too.
I don't think that
I think it is. I think they can mess with not while you're playing, but it just seems to me like the
Oh, they could
shuffles.
dial in like only 3 shuffles this time. And
The
only,
shuffles are a lot less streaky. I guess I would put it that way. If that makes sense.
How do you take 4
I'm just
decks
like
of
that. I
cards
don't like a
and get
gamble.
it to
I'm just
out to
weird like that. Double deck. All I want to play. I don't want to play that 6 deck.
single deck's fun?
That's not. You're not supposed to play single deck. The odds really aren't that good.
That's why I
You're
won
better
the
to
most
play.
money at blackjacks on single deck.
I know, but you're
Yeah.
in theory double deck.
Yeah.
And it's like
Still
computer roulette wheels. I hate it. I'd rather have a human spin the ball.
It's like craps. I'd rather have somebody throw on the dice instead of
Yeah.
hitting that button and
For
watch
sure.
these 2 dice go. And
Yep.
then,
But anyhow, how we get on casinos?
So what
Jim, you
happened
got
on the
us off
boat?
track.
You were talking about the vacation or your vacation and the electronic roulette.
Yeah,
You were
it
playing.
rained. We didn't go on a cruise this year. We went to St. Thomas for a few days and stayed at a resort down there, the Belongo Bay, which is like one of the original resorts in all of St. Thomas. So it's a nice place. I mean, it's I would say it's kind of primitive to a certain extent. It's not very high end, but it's nice. It's perfect. If you ever want to go to St. Thomas and you're traveling to the Virgin Islands, Belongo Bay is a really good place to go. It's relatively inexpensive. It's not like staying at the Westin or they've got the Ritz-Carlton, $2,000 a night. I mean, who does that? Who does that? I'm like,
Sleep on the curb.
it's a lot of money.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah, but Virginia booked it all. We were going to go on a cruise, didn't like the flights, so we decided to go to St. Thomas and stay for 4 days. And it was
How'd that work? How'd that work out with the flights?
Not worth a shit.
A little delayed on your return home.
We got delayed 4 hours, missed our connecting flight, and had to stay overnight in Charlotte. Yeah,
That's okay.
it kind of sucked. Sunday night and Monday morning kind of sucked. And it especially sucked when you got, I mean, my daughter's here. We didn't have a babysitter lined up. We were supposed to be back. We had to ask the neighbors if their daughter would come over and spend the night at our house on a school night. My parents don't live in Iowa no more, and, didn't have a sitter set up, so it's got chaos. But, But anyhow. Went to the Soggy Dollar Bar. People know who that is, where that is.
Did you have to sleep on the airport terminal floor?
No.
Okay, then it wasn't that freaking bad.
No, it wasn't.
I did
It could have
when
been
I
much
had
worse. Oh, yeah, I've had some nightmare. Never take bumps, all that kind of stuff. It's a nightmare travel. If you I always say find somebody who likes to travel, and I'll show you somebody who doesn't travel much.
No, absolutely.
Traveling
Absolutely.
just can suck. It can be fun doing what we do and going to all the different racetracks. I personally, it's probably one of the coolest things you do is being able to go around the United States and meet new people and different people at different racetracks and everything else, and then see awesome racing on top of it all. But sometimes the to and from sucks.
Absolutely. Being at the track is great. It's everything that leads up to getting there.
I always said the best trip we made on Wednesday nights to Alta was when we walked into the pit gate, because the 2-hour drive there and the 2-hour drive back was back before 20 was 4 lanes, and you had to crisscross all the 2-laners, and it was like that's the best.
I only got lost twice coming home Saturday night.
How could you get lost? You made that trip like 14 times last
His eyesight
year.
isn't very good.
And I got lost 14 times.
Imagine a 2-hour drive over from Des Moines with Jerry.
Hey, I did an 8-hour
Yeah, we
drive
did an 8-hour
Jerry.
drive.
And the
I was
dogs,
sleeping
the
half.
dog sled team.
Half.
10 minutes.
It said the only reason you woke up, Jim called twice.
No, I wasn't sleeping.
And the dog jumped on your lap.
Good times. So Mojave Valley's racing. Then we got And after this weekend, we got KSP next weekend.
Yeah,
Texas. Things down in Texas are starting to pick up.
Yep.
That time of year.
And then after
Oklahoma
that,
Speedway.
we got Clash on the coast.
That's right.
If we only had somebody that could enlighten us on what's going to go on down at the Clash on the coast with us,
Do we?
that would be great if we could pull that off.
Probably not going to happen.
No, I don't think
They'll
you
be
can
racing.
handle it.
There'll be 2 nights of practicing. It's like 130 plus cars pre-registered in both divisions.
it's quite a few.
It's crazy.
Oh, it's over. It's over that.
Last time I talked to Peyton,
Anybody have an exact
That
amount
was
on
like
how many cars?
2 or 3
Peyton?
weeks ago when he was here in town, he had that many.
That's just what he posted the other day.
Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Well, I ain't smart enough to get my screen going.
Just
You're not alone. I have the same problem.
Here we go. Start my video. Let's see if this works. But we are at
You look kinda good right now.
89,
Yeah.
89 IMCA modifieds and 57 or 58 stock cars.
That's enough for a race.
Yes.
It's
Yes, it is.
147.
Might have to run a B in each division.
Start them all.
Yeah, it's going. It's kind of mind blowing to do. I think we averaged 58 last year, and only had one division of IMCA, which was a primary division. Then when we went full tilt, which is what we should have done last year, but when you've got racers that's traveling one way over 8 hours, it's hard to put all your eggs in one basket. But definitely what I should have done last year. But just thankful for the sport. You know, we've got the best partners out there. We've got the best sanction out there. I feel like our racers can compete with anybody in the country right now. And these 2 racetracks last year showcased just that.
Oh, absolutely. The racing was fantastic last year. Just fantastic.
Yeah, as we've talked before, you know, the Clash kind of hits all the marks. You know, I think at the end of the day, we've said this many times, maybe not on the podcast, but at the end of the day, racers vote with their trailers.
Yeah.
Where they go and why they go is different for every one of them. There's really no 2 people that are exact, you know, but when you see 56, I think you said 50 plus
last year
IMCA stock cars willing to travel to the Gulf Coast
where there are no stock cars.
Where there are no stock
never
cars.
raced.
Where they do not race IMCA stock cars weekly. You know, I have a conscience, you know, and Peyton and I have talked about this. We don't want to encourage promoters to make bad decisions, to do things that are not necessarily in their best interests. And encouraging somebody to set up a tour, you know, that far away from where our concentration of race cars is at, and from a stock car standpoint, and no local cars, is ballsy, you know. And for us to encourage that, we wouldn't. You know, obviously we make money selling licenses and sanctioning events, so we're going to sanction events. But at the same time, we don't want to set our promoters up or these events up for failure, and you know. So I think the decision you made last year was correct, Peyton, when it comes to not running stock cars. But stock car racers are now pretty much telling you what they want by entering. So you see how it's starting to go, and it's setting the stage for what's going to be a pretty good a couple of events and a couple of racetracks and a couple of races. You know, that a lot of people are going to be watching and paying attention to. They're already paying attention to it down there because we're getting people that are asking us to run more tour races at other racetracks, you know, and so that in itself is a little bit of a tell. It's a sign.
We put something together yesterday, as a matter of fact.
That of what's going on down there. So, you know, obviously from our standpoint, we can't thank Peyton enough. He's doing a fantastic job. We really do.
All the hard work he does. It's not easy creating. I mean, this is only the 2nd year, and he's already turned this into a marquee event. And it's just everything that goes on with it. The Facebook videos, the surfboard trophies. It's all that type of stuff.
It's very unique.
Adds up into making it an event.
Yeah, it's very unique.
Well, I'm just thankful, you know, like when I talked to Brett when this first started going, you know, and I told him, I said, if we don't have you and Jim and IMCA 100% on board, it don't make sense. We just can't do it. And that was definitely the right call. And then these racetracks, you know, they're 2 really great racing tracks. We've seen, and this is just the modifieds. I cannot wait to see what the stock cars do at Northwest Florida. You know, the mods went 6 wide down the backstretch one time. I mean, it's very seldom, you know, you see something like that. And they went 4 and 5 wide several times. And then I just, you know, I try to research where I can be better at, where our event can be better at. And, you know, Southern produced what I felt like was a storybook 9 on Saturday night when Becerra come from 24th. But when you look back at MRP and you look at the top 8, I'm just going to run down I think I counted up, there was 90 positions gained in the top 8 finishers in Saturday's final feature. Becerra passed 23 cars. Jansen passed 3. Derek Thompson passed 6. Ryan Gilmore passed 17. Thurlby finished 5th and passed 1. Dallin Murdy passed 14 to get 6. Travis Denning passed 16 to get the 7th. And then Jacob Campbell passed 10 to get the 8th. That is just insane. You don't see that very often. And, you know, for them guys to never have been at that track and them racers produce that kind of quality, it really set the bar for what we should expect this year.
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. And, the conspiracy theories, when a guy like Becerra comes from the back to the front, the cheating stuff always pops up. Somebody somewhere is going to say, oh, he's cheating, and it's rare for that to happen, but it does happen. We've seen it happen all over the country. If you couldn't script a better story on some of those situations, to be quite honest. So when the conspiracy theories start trying to shoot holes in it, obviously, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, everybody has doubts. Everybody's like, well, geez, how's somebody do that? Well, Becerra's a good racer, but you have Dallin Murdy passing 14 cars. People know who he is, and he's a good racer. So all these other things kind of add up to the big picture. And the big picture is, in my opinion, has been for many years, pretty damn good racers in IMCA. Very, very good racers in IMCA. This association would absolutely not be as popular as it is without the racers that we've got racing in it, for whatever reason, whether they're full-time IMCA racers and they don't race nothing else, or whether they float around a little bit and do specials. It doesn't matter to us. I think all across the country, when you put guys in Florida, or you put them in Arizona, or you put them in Texas, wherever they're going, the racing can be phenomenal. It really can. Very good.
One thing I think, and it's just the world we live in now, but when somebody gets out there and dominates, and I use, Ricky Thornton Jr. for an example, when he was just dominating, everybody thought he was doing something or this or that. And it just seems like the easiest way out, just like Becerra went down there, and he had a hell of a week, but when you look at what he did after he left there, he continued to have a dominant year, and we teched him. We checked for tire, we went to Blue Ridge and sent samples off. And, we did everything on our end that we could do to make sure he's legal. And, I felt like he was just, he was on his game that year. Is he going to come back and do it again this year? He is definitely going to have his work cut out to do it, because there is a lot of talented racers coming. We've got Dave coming this year, and I know a lot of people's worried about the ride height rule. I talked to Dave several times, and he said we didn't have no issues in Arizona. I think that, I think a lot of people, expected the worst, and he said, so we made it through there. He said, I look for our event to be, go just as smoothly, and everybody have a good speed week.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it. You can use Ricky Thornton as an example. Again, there's a guy that dominated in IMCA modified racing for a couple years. He was the guy to beat. And I think if he came back and ran any IMCA stuff, people would still think he's the guy to beat wherever he's at, wherever he's racing. And again, he's the number one late model racer in the country right now, in my opinion. That's all I'll say about that.
Hands down.
Yeah,
but people want an excuse.
Like he can't drive a race car.
That run. They don't want to say, well,
he could drive a lawnmower.
In the shop.
Yeah, but to touch on this, look at your brother Jeff too as well, Peyton. You go back a handful of years, and on the Dakota Tour, he was the car to beat. I think he won the Super Nationals the same year. Yeah. He had a little run there where Jeff Taylor was the guy to beat when he showed up. He came to the Super Nationals, and I can't remember. He said something to me. I don't think he had a lot of luck when he qualified the first night or something weird like that.
That was because I misgrooved his tire. I hadn't.
Jim, I thought it was because you kept him up all night.
Yeah,
So I didn't know the tire rule then, so he did not have a good first night because of me. But it was pretty. That was probably one of my favorite highlights, was being with him and crew chiefing for him. Yeah. And winning I think it's the 30th annual Super Nationals. But yeah, he come on and he was good everywhere he went that year. Actually for a year and a half, he was solid. You couldn't hardly outrun him. And Jack Sullivan, Cadillac Jack, he's always got a quote for something. But he said something to me one time, I think it was 06, is we was running good. We won a bunch of races in 06. It was more of an open deal back then. But he told me, he said, hey, he said, I'm going to tell you, he said, enjoy it. He said, this stuff goes in cycles. He said, it don't last forever. So when you're on top, you better enjoy it. And he is right. He is exactly right, you know.
Indeed, it does. You know, and you look at Tim Ward and how fast he's been the last year. He's been pretty good.
Yeah,
That Dakota Tour success too.
Yeah, it just kind of cycles. People hit on something, or you get the right combination, whether it be whatever car it may be, or whoever's driving it, and whatever shocks they're putting on it. You know, this sport never stays the same. You know, it's always changing. It's evolving. Even when we don't change rules, it evolves. You know, and it's interesting to see how different guys pop up. Dallin Murdy's a guy we already mentioned. You know, for a while there, he was the stock car guy to beat. Yeah. You know, I mean, he's on the track. He's on the track, and if we had conspiracy theories going, I'd be trying to shoot his tires out because he was winning everything.
Exactly.
You know,
Mooney had that big 50,000 win. I think me and him raced. I rode second in it. I think he rode third or fourth. But, like, I raced him door to door. And this is right when he's in the meat and taters of his dominance. And I run him door to door, and we had that 50-lap. I think it was a 40-lap or 50-lap break. My guy comes over and he goes, what do you think? I said, hell, I'm done. I said, I just outrun him in 40 laps. I'm good. And, there was, but, that's what's good for the sport. You know, them guys like Ricky Thornton and Tim Ward and Murdy, they push people to go in their shops in the winter and work on their stuff. And the people that are not doing that, when it gets time to go get the hardware, they're going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit, you know. And that's the ones that usually are like, well, they got to be doing this or they got to be doing that, you know. It's easy to point fingers when you're not putting your nose down and just really getting after it, in my opinion. But, that's just kind of where I'm at on the whole deal.
Every division has them. In IMCA, every division has them. And I don't want to just talk mods or stock cars or just one specific event, but you got to look at mod light racing and Rafferty's success, and you got to look at our compacts. Look at Koopman's success that he's had over the years. Yeah. I mean, Loft in this Northern Sport mods. You go into the Southerns, and you got look at the streaks Keith had when he was running Southerns, when we let him race both. You know, I mean, there's just a lot of, every division has them. They cycle in and out. They get out of racing. They stay in racing. Their kids start racing. You know, the kids get into school. There's just all kinds of weird cycles that go on that are kind of fun, and they're fun to stay on top of. And we hope that we can continue to tell those stories. I think that's one of the cool things that IMCA TV is helping us do. It's telling those stories for us, because we can write about it and we can talk about it, but it's not the same as watching it, really, to be quite honest. You know,
parity is good when different people win, but it's the drivers who dominate and put the sport on the map that people talk about.
Yep.
That gives us the exposure that we want. So you can love them, you can hate them, but it's those guys that are successful that make our sport what it is.
Yep, very much so. Yeah.
I agree. That's what, I call him yin yang. Bloomquist told me one time.
Yin yang.
I said, man, you get a lot of haters. He said, they buy just as many shirts as the people that like me. He said, it don't matter. He said, if they're talking about you, good or bad.
As long as they spell your name right.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He said, you're going to talk bad about me, just make sure you spell my name right.
The best story I have of that love-hate is Arlo Becker, a local modified racer who has been who raced. He was one of the original mod guys around here. He raced a ton of modified races. And back in his heyday, my mother always told this story. She just thought it was awesome because Arlo, he had people who loved him and people who hated him. So he had T-shirts made. I love Arlo Becker. And then he had T-shirts made that said, I hate Arlo Becker. And he sold both out of his pits. You know, it's just
smart.
Oh, and he sold the shit out of them. My mom will tell that story to this day, how funny that was. And there's guys like that in this sport. You know, people like people because it's like liking Mahomes or not liking Mahomes, liking Purdy or Brock Purdy or not liking Brock Purdy. Do you like Tim Ward? Do you not like Tim Ward? You know, for whatever reason, people don't like success. People like to cheer for the underdogs at times.
Oh, yeah. You need to have a successful person in order to have an underdog.
You do. It's the storylines that the conspiracy theories are always popping up, but but you need the storylines. And again, I think the racing tells it best. Then we got documentaries like Jeremy did for us at the Super Nationals this year, the Boone documentary that's telling some pretty cool stories. Again, racer stories about the event, because without the racers, the event is
nothing.
Yeah, it's not the same. For sure.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I'm telling you, I blocked off half my day. I was ready. I clicked on that, and it was a little teaser, and I was just like, oh, man, now I got to wait.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see. Is that coming out Thursday?
Yeah, Nate's got it scheduled. He's got it on a schedule. I got to think if I can remember. He told me yesterday what it was. We're going to release it. Subscription. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
So
the Super Nationals.
If you bought the Super Nationals,
if you bought the Super Nationals package, if you bought the Super Nationals package, it's available now. Then I think tomorrow we're gonna release it to the
15th of February
to the replay subscribers.
And if you blocked off a half of your day, Peyton, it's only an hour long. You must put in some short days if you're only blocking off an hour.
Yeah, he does.
Hi. I tried to prioritize my days with what's going to be good, and I felt like that was going to be the highlight of it. So I can tell you what I'm going to do is when I get off here, I got to do another Clash video.
Another one? How long is that going to take?
Oh, my God.
Well, it depends. When my daughter does it, she gets me laughing. And
we saw.
She did that blooper reel the other day, and I need to go to church a little bit more because I didn't know. But she had to honk the horn on a couple of them bloopers, and but no, it's fun. It's fun doing that stuff. I think the racer likes saying that. The people seem to get more information out of the videos. I know the marketing partners seem to like it, but
do you do any dancing?
It's just part of it. I really enjoy this side of it, and I want to do more. But it's kind of pick and choose your battles. Dates are really hard to do stuff with. There's a few things I want to do that's really, really big that I've talked to Brett about. Me and a couple other guys are wanting to do, but it's more of a timing thing. I feel like I got the rest of my life to grow as a promoter with IMCA, and I think it's better to just sit and think it through and make sure it makes sense for everybody involved before you just jump out there and say, hey, I'm going to do this.
I think you should have a video promo that shows you dance, because you're a pretty good dancer. And it always makes me laugh. Every time I see you do that dance, I'm like, how does he do that?
I'll be honest, I'm 45 years old. I've got about one or two more of them dances in me.
Hey, wait. Usher's 45 years old, too. Yeah. There's no excuses
so
here,
excuse
Peyton.
for age.
Well, he's in a little bit better physical shape than I probably
Well,
am.
if you'd show some more of the workout videos, and then you could get into shape to give us more dancing videos.
I am way out of shape. I understand this, but so here's what happened there. I'll just go ahead and tell y'all real quick. So if y'all seen the workout video, which I'm pretty sure y'all have, I had not worked out ever with free weights. So I go and work out with my buddy that's like worked out for 6 months straight, and he's like a machine now. So the first 2 days I work out with him, and he tries to kill me. So the third day I get on the bench press, and I go to do, I don't know, it wasn't a lot of weight, but I did 4 reps of 10. So I get off, my arms are jello. I can't move my core is jello, my legs. So I'm going to rock up, just kind of rock my momentum up off the weight bench. And I didn't get fully committed. And when I come back, I couldn't move my arms. And I told myself, I said, I'm just going to ride it out. And I did. And it wound up being pretty comical. So I'm going to hold off until after the Clash, and then I'm coming back, and I'm going to hit it hard. So lessons learned, I guess. But it wound up being pretty good stuff.
Still need to see you dancing on camera. Maybe in Victory Lane you can dance with.
Speaking of Victory Lane, we got a cool deal we're doing this year. We're adding, it's going to be the Victory Lane presented by Performance Bodies. Scott, Alec, and all the guys up there they've always pushed what we've did. And they have got one of these. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but they have got this big old hat that goes on your head.
Yeah, I like that hat.
And so, yeah, we're going to have it down there. We're happy to have them back on board, along with all of our great people. Freezing come on board yesterday. They was with us last year. This is pretty cool. They are awarding $16,000 off coupons for people that run. It's for the top 4 finishers each night. And if somebody wins one, they're not eligible for another. So it goes back. So 16 racers will be leaving with a $1,000 gift card courtesy of Freezing Performance, which, we love Al. Everybody loves Al. And we can't thank him enough for coming on board with us again, too. But just a big heads up to all of our marketing partners, and they're mainly through IMCA Racing. We appreciate everything everybody does for us. And that's, really that's the only way we're able to do and put on a show like this for these racers. And one thing I do want to say, everybody, I don't know how you're getting all them people down to Florida in this. One thing is, I think that people want somewhere to race because it's been crazy weather up there and in y'all's parts all winter long. And 2, it's $1,000 to win each night. But when you start adding up the point fund and the payback and everything, with tow money on that many cars, we're going to be over $100,000 in purse for a $35 nightly entry fee. And I think that kind of just incentivizes, along with the beach and the nice weather and stuff. So I think all that goes to build this event and grow it.
So it's not going to be a $500 entry fee?
It's not going to be a $500 entry fee. And guess what?
Is there any like huge expensive parking spots?
There is not, and I'm not even going to charge you to bring your 4-wheeler in.
Do I have to
How
pay
much
for
does
my
that
ATV?
cost?
No, sir.
And do you have to pay to get into the second level of pits? So
No,
one price covers all the pits.
yeah, and your car don't need a pit pass to go hot lap.
What about the air? Can you breathe? Or do
You
have to
can
pay for
breathe,
that?
and we won't charge you to sneeze.
Sell canned air.
Is Jim going to flag again?
I'm
He might.
going to let Jim have the year off this year. He did such a good job last year. He did. Oh, by the way, speaking of y'all's last cast, we was talking about Jim flagging, and then I had come up to meet with Brett during that big snow.
You did.
And
right before
I
it.
think Jim said, well, where was Brett? Was he on the big tractor or the small tractor? And Brett goes, I don't think I was on a tractor. Oh, yeah, he was on a tractor. He was on that John Deere out there playing in the parking lot. I had to call him out on that.
It wasn't, again, it's like one of those things you wake up and you have no plan to be doing and you end up doing it. That I had a friend who wanted to store his boat, and everybody knows my storage stories. I store them, or they store them, I steal them. I mean, that's the theme, right? So, yeah, I had a guy who wanted to put his boat in here because the storm was coming, and it was just, I don't know. I was on my tractor when he showed up, yeah.
So was it a tractor or a skid loader?
Yeah, because you said it was a skid loader.
Let me tell you this: every man, in my opinion, should have the opportunity to own a skid loader someday, because they are the funnest things in the world to drive. Now, if you had to drive them for a job every day, I'm sure it's like everything, you get tired of it. But I'm telling you, ain't nothing more fun than taking a skid loader out and spinning circles in it and digging holes.
I used to
Until
move.
it rolls over.
If I could pick up the dog crap in my yard with my skid loader without tearing it up, that's what I'd do.
Well, if you get a big enough dog, you could.
Pick his little piece of poop up and put it in the trash can.
I used to move the snow at my mom's with her skid loader.
They're fun.
Me and a skid loader.
They're
fun.
I know they're.
They're fun.
He was on that John Deere, and it was like a kid in a candy store. He pulled that thing up right to the front door of IMCA when he parked it and got out.
Yeah, Whitney texted me, hey, there's somebody here to see you. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about that. I get sidetracked here. It's my window time. But anyhow. Yeah, again, Peyton, we can't thank you enough for taking the time to hang out with us again today.
Tracy Clay going to be in Victory Lane this year?
She will be. She will be. We're excited to have her with us again, as always. Comp Cam, Jack, Chris, Brian, Tracy, all their bunch really does a good job to help us make everything go smoothly. I know there's a lot of people nervous about the parking, which we went down there a couple weeks ago. I think we're going to be good on that. We've got Melinda and Margaret coming in And like I said, they can park 1,000 cars in a week at Super Nationals. I don't think us parking 150, 160 is going to be an issue at all.
You got Belinda down there. She's got a plan already.
No, I guarantee you. Yeah, I've done been on Google with her, and we've done got some.
Oh, she's Google Earthed it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's got her system down.
So excited about that. And then, we added the Chassis Challenge this year also. So excited about that. That's going to be pretty cool. It's just another race that we are doing for the people that don't make the A feature the last night. It just gives a racer another chance to make some money, a little fuel money, get some more laps, and represent for their chassis manufacturer.
Did I see B&B was doing something with you as well?
So far we've got Shaw Race Cars, Lethal Chassis, Cadillac Chassis, GRT, Harris Auto Racing, B&B Sniper, and then I'm waiting to hear back from about 4 more. A lot of manufacturers.
A lot of players in the industry. A lot of really good people that make really good components and parts, and the industry needs them. Just like we need racers, we need tracks, we need racers, we need people like Scott and Alec at Performance, and all the great chassis builders that are out there building stock cars, modified.
Well, it's like a circle of life, I mean, we got to have the chassis manufacturers, just like we got, like you said, the racers, the promoters, the sanctions. Then we got to have the vendors that sell the parts, and we got to have the manufacturers that machine the parts, and it takes everything to make this whole deal work. And I think it's a pretty good system. I think it's working, and
rising tides raise all ships. I've said that before. I said that in an interview.
For sure. So, well, has everybody got their Valentine something?
We talked about that.
Yeah. I'll make
can I make me a cracker with some cheese on it?
Yeah, I love this stuff. Do you love this stuff?
That's good stuff. What'd you get, babe, for Valentine's Day?
You want that?
Yeah.
Well, I've got her. I bought her 1,000 class shirts actually. So she come in there this morning and told me do not buy her anything.
I would.
You are such a sweet, romantic guy, Peyton. I knew it. I knew it.
Being married to Peyton every day will be Valentine's
We have
Day.
lived together for 25 years. Every day is like Valentine's Day with me.
I made Ryan a little Valentine's heart. Maybe I'll get on his list one day. He won't take me off Facebook.
You're on my list, Brett.
Oh, look at that. Brett has
Thank you.
He made you a heart on
We
cracker.
need
Why don't we
Sleazy
see
Cheese
you
as a
and Jerry
sponsor.
do
We really do. We should, can you imagine having this in like Victory Lane? Oh, it's the best stuff ever. It's the best. And Ritz crackers.
Maybe
It's
we can
not
get
the
them
best
out
stuff
as a
for you, but
sponsor.
it tastes good. I know.
Spread 'em.
Exactly. Hey, does anybody watch this? Are we done talking to Peyton, or are we just?
Are you still there, Peyton?
I'm here. I'm sorry you can't see me, but I'm probably the most computer illiterate person in Arkansas.
That's all right. We talked a little bit about the Boone documentary, which is cool. Does anybody watch the NASCAR documentary? Have anybody watched that on Netflix? Any of you guys watch
I
that?
started and then I got sidetracked, but
I thought it was really well done. I really did. I mean, I watched it. It kind of sucked me in like the Formula One one. We're not anti-Formula One. We're not anti-NASCAR here. We all like racing. And if NASCAR and Formula One are doing really well, again, it helps us at our level as well, And so I'm not going to bash on them, but they did a really good documentary. Dale Jr. was apparently involved in it.
Feel the Thunder? Is that what it was called?
No, that one never got finished. We're working on that. But I thought Dale Jr. was involved in that NASCAR one, and it there's a guy that's doing a lot for the sport. As a racer, obviously he people know who he is, and not as a racer now. But anyhow, so I thought that documentary was pretty damn cool. Plus, I like Menards, and I got Paul Menard sent me a birthday gift, so I thought that was kind of him too. I get
11% discount.
Yeah, Paul Menard. I get 11%.
No, it's a mug.
Well, he gives Paul
They
gives
sent
me
him
11,
a bigger paper bag than most people get.
Yeah, Paul gives me
does he?
11% off all my purchases. Usually, I have to, but I appreciate it. And then I also get this little happy birthday thing in the mail the other day, and I'm like, I get a mug.
It's just it's
the
it
best.
is a
That's my.
15
Oh wait, here I'll
ounce.
hold it up. This is my Menards plug. I love Menards.
I do too.
People down south are like, "What the hell's Menards?"
No, trust me. I've got some friends when we come to Boone, we've got to go over. Is it Ames?
Yeah,
That has it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I buy stuff I don't even need.
Yeah. This time of the year, I spend more time at the Menards than I do at the racetrack at Marshalltown.
Yeah. I was on vacation again last weekend. We are clear down on a Caribbean island, and my wife is like addicted to Bloody Marys, and so she's like orders a Bloody Mary, and they bring us this her Bloody Mary, and I'm like, is it a good one? She's like, oh yeah, this mix is the best, and I can't remember what it was called now. I wish she was here; she'd tell me. But so we're sitting down there. She Googles where you can buy it. Menards. So you buy the Bloody Mary mix at Menards. So if you need a 2x4, some electrical wire, and some
washer dryer
Bloody Mary mix, you can go to Menards.
They've got everything.
Their food,
They
their
have
food
everything.
has got
We buy all kinds of stuff. There's
Bags of candies. That's what I usually get.
We got a
But
grocery section. I mean,
Yeah.
full-on
Oh,
grocery
yeah, you can
section.
get, you can, I forgot. Yeah.
they do.
You can replumb a motorhome.
Sounds like you've had to do that.
I have had to do that before.
Is that before or after it backed up?
But you know what? You know what they need? They got to be like Costco. They got to have the $1.50 hot dogs.
Oh, I do love the $1.50 Costco hot dogs.
Sam's Club
Can't
has
beat 'em.
those too.
Maybe I'll get maybe we'll stop for Valentine's wiener at Costco, Ryan.
No, yeah,
On the
no.
way
Well,
home.
You guys
No.
can share a wiener.
No, just stop. Stop. Just stop.
Don't say that.
Quit.
No level of desperation will ever lead me in that direction.
Costco? What's wrong with
Ryan.
Costco?
No.
I could make
No.
some really fun designs on one of these chips. Want to eat? Nah, I better not. You get in trouble.
What? Do you have
This
something
is our
against the
fun
Costco
with
or
cheese
what?
segment.
Well, I'm waiting. I want another cracker.
I'm not doing
Snackles needs a cracker over here. I'm
refuse.
hungry.
Yeah, it's snack day here because it's Valentine's Day. So my little sister Jody's like, hey, let's do a snack day. I'm like, all right. So
There are, what, 6 people in this office today,
Yeah,
and there
we like
are
to eat.
7 bags of chips up there.
yeah, one for each of us. Plus
Dip
one.
she made was awesome. I want the recipe.
Yeah, my sister knows how to make some good food. She got that from my mother. My mom's a great cook.
You must have got the golfing from your dad then.
I did. And yeah.
Golfing and his.
I got some of my father's traits in me. Yes. Oh, well. What else? Let me look at my notes. See if we forgot.
We talked
anything.
about the document. Oh, hey, RPM workshops happened yesterday, the day before, and
Yeah.
Doug Johnson, Region 4 Promoter of the Year. Doug does Houston and Jackson, runs IMCA at the tracks. Congratulations to Doug. He does a fantastic job up there.
He does, and he carries a pretty big torch for us in the race saver market. To be quite honest,
Oh, absolutely.
you know, he's a big believer of the race savers. They run them at Houston, they run them at Jackson. You know, I mean, they've been Doug and Todd and everybody up there at those racetracks that are running race savers up there have been pretty important in that division. We need people like
is
them.
averaging about 29 every Sunday night.
Yeah. It's one of those racetracks I've never been to.
Oh my God,
that
that
place
is
is
so
awesome.
neat.
Never
Oh,
been
it's
to.
cool.
It looks so awesome.
There is
never been there.
the neatest thing I think I've damn never been to at a race is standing down in corner number 1, because you can basically stand right out on the track and watching them 410s come through there. Oh my God, it's scary shit. It really is.
Yeah.
When the place was cool and badass before that Nimrod bought it and then shut it down.
Oh.
I mean, it was a great
We're not
facility.
we're not talking Todd, or we're not talking the Rubens.
No, we're talking
Fill
The
in the
pawn
blank.
shop guy or whatever.
Badlands.
Pawn shop guy.
Oh, the Badlands. I was going to Badlands
Kind of
Motors.
fell off the map for a little while, but Queering bought it, and
Yeah, Todd had then.
Oh,
was
they're
taking it to the next
adding on
level.
to it now.
Yeah.
Every time you go up there, well, we're going to tear these suites down because we got to make each window 3 inches higher so they can see the track better. I'm going, holy shit. It's nuts.
You want
It
the
is
cheese, Ryan?
crazy.
you can have the cheese
No,
too.
you got to put it on there.
No, you do it.
You gonna draw a picture?
I'm not going to draw a picture.
Hey guys, I've got to go.
Yeah,
I've got to slide out of here, but I
thank you.
really want to thank y'all for everything y'all did for me and my family and our event. And I think all that hot dog talk, I think I'm fixing to have to go get me a hot dog.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Thanks, Peyton.
So,
And
Hey,
good
hey,
luck with the tour.
y'all have a happy Valentine's Day, and we'll be seeing y'all soon.
Sounds
See you
good.
for
Thank you
season.
very much.
Make sure everybody knows they can watch it all week on IMCA TV.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks.
Thanks,
You
Peyton.
too.
All right. See y'all. Bye-bye.
How long we been on, Nate?
About 3
Oh,
hours.
so we're at an hour.
Right at 3 hours.
Sometimes it goes by super fast, and sometimes it seems it's not. It's easy to talk to a guy like Peyton, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just let him tell the stories. He's well
Oh, he's
spoken.
got stories.
He does. He has lots of stories. His family's got a big history in, obviously, in auto racing in that,
exactly.
in that Batesville area and that Arkansas area. So Peyton's raced for a long time. His brother's raced for a long time. Again, I think they're good representatives of the sport, and I just think, yeah, like I said initially about the Clash, on the coast, it just hits all the marks, and Peyton's one of those marks, to be quite honest. You couldn't put
Back when I
go ahead.
first started at IMCA, that was one of our biggest races of the year was down at Milton every year.
Yeah, we used to have the Winter Nationals down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty common to get pretty easily at that time, 50, 60 modifieds.
Yeah.
But we also had a little bit more sanctions down there. We were doing some stuff over at Talladega Short Track and some other stuff, So there was, I think, if you had to look at it objectively, you'd say there's more potential back then. But look at it now, and it's not like there's not a lot of IMCA modifieds out there and shit. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We really are. What did we do? 40 states last year. We had
I've got it
sanctioned
pulled
events.
up right now.
So
41.
yeah, 41 states last year.
How many we got left?
Yeah, which 41? That's which.
Well, that was all sanctions. That wasn't just modifieds.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Which? How many states are there?
50.
Just want to make sure I got it
And
right.
you want me to trust you with my life?
Yeah, I have never claimed to be the smartest person, ever. I never will. I make up my own words.
You don't.
We've arrived to that.
You don't have to claim to be the smartest person to know there's 50 states, Brett.
So we did business in 41 of them.
We did. Yeah.
Name the 9 that we don't do business in.
You want me to do it?
Alaska, Hawaii.
No, you could. It's easy for you to do it.
I can probably do it.
You
Yeah,
could
Alaska and
probably do
Hawaii
it.
are 2.
So there's 7 more.
Ohio.
New Hampshire,
Ohio.
Vermont,
New
Connecticut.
Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut. Yeah, there's 5.
They have Ohio. Did I get Ohio right?
Ohio's wrong. We got a sprint series in Ohio.
We got
Oh, that's right.
Ohio. So we need 3 more.
What did you say?
Rhode Island? Did you get
Could
Rhode
say-
Island?
Rhode Island.
Oh, we got the Carolinas.
Carolinas are both in it.
Yeah.
Nope. Happens.
West.
Delaware.
We got Virginia.
Iowa.
No. Alaska, Hawaii, Maine,
No,
Vermont,
there's one. We had 2 more then.
Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts,
should be
Connecticut is
Rhode
7. Rhode Island is 8. There's 1 more.
You know what we need to do?
Puerto Rico.
It's
think.
not on the eastern seaboard. I think it's down. Is it
Interesting.
Georgia?
You know what we should
We
do?
might
Yeah,
have a
that'd
race
probably
in
be-
Georgia.
We should.
How about I pull up my map?
We should.
Yeah.
We should recruit Carl Fredrickson to be a regional director up there in that area and get us some racetracks, and we can knock some of these off our list of 9.
There you go.
I bet we could.
He has won the Super Nationals before, for crying out loud.
Yes.
Who was this car owner that year?
I don't know who owned that car.
Alabama.
Alabama.
Alabama was not the car owner. We don't have races in Alabama anymore.
We do
have-
now.
we have
We do now
before.
as of yesterday.
Do we?
We do.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
42.
Yeah.
Once we get the other, we're currently for this year, if you want to know, we're at 33 states based on everything that's come in. So we're for it being middle of February, we're moving right along.
It's that time of year. Tracks are getting the contracts sent in, starting to make the plans.
Oh yeah, we need
It's
a
kind of
track
a quiet
in
time of
Maine.
year, but it's really not a quiet time of year. January's kind of
Oh shit.
Banquet Jim. As long as you don't get crabby, Banquet Jim. You got Banquet Jim going around doing banquets still, and contracts are kind of coming in. I don't think January is our quietest month. I think you get into February, March. I think there's a window there where the contracts are all kind of come in for us. The racing rules have been out for long enough where we aren't getting a lot of rule questions. It kind of starts tapering out of what we would consider to be like preparing
The
for the
off
season.
season
Yeah,
into
preparing
the
for the
season.
season.
Yeah.
And then it's like, boom, you just flip a switch in April and look out. It's racing all over the place.
You know what?
See, you
We
can't
need
eat just one of those damn things, can you?
We need a track in Maine. That's all there is to it.
We do. We've got Canada.
I'm gonna
How about
put-
Mexico?
Lobster rolls.
You get one down in Mexico.
Ooh, lobster rolls. Wonder how high.
Mexico would be fun. There is.
We
tracks
had
down there.
one in Mexico at one time.
We did.
Wonder how high.
Juarez.
You could get
Juarez.
Cheese whiz on this thing.
Juarez.
Juarez, isn't that where Johnny Cash went?
Don't tell the joke. Don't go there.
I thought that was Tijuana.
I think it's both.
It's Juarez too. Don't ever get rained out down there.
Jim's travel adventures back in the day.
Remember when that was?
No,
I've got the
it
dates
was
here.
before at Juarez.
Had
It would've had to
What's the
been
name of the
96?
racetrack?
It had been prior to me 90s. Prior
95,
to
96.
prior to 97.
Autopista Juarez?
Yeah. Yeah.
It shows 3 separate years, 91, 93, and 98. There were sanctioned
was
events
it?
down there.
Yes.
Autopista.
Autopista.
Did you know that Jim started
Juarez.
out as our sprint car director at IMCA? That's how long Jim's been around.
And there's
He's been around as long as he's been around as long as the sprint car's been around.
Sprint cars been around forever.
Jim has been
Yeah.
1915.
Jim's been around since 1915. Because that's
Jim
what it started
is-
was
is
as a sprint car
oldest or-
section.
survived a heart attack. This side of this side of the sport will definitely give you heart attacks. Dave's getting his heart issues all cleared up. We're all ready to go for the season.
That's right. Locked and loaded.
Yeah. What else?
I don't know.
Supposed to snow here tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think.
That's your
Not
We're talking about all
no
this racing.
accumulation, though, is there?
We're
An
like
inch to a
right on the
trace.
edge of it here, and,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's right. Yeah,
I think we're going to see more
it's
rain.
been the last couple weeks been pretty nice around here. So it's supposed
Yeah,
to snow.
they're calling for like a Jerry Van Sickle snowfall here.
What's that?
2 inches.
About 2 inches.
Oh, God.
Wow. Oh, Jim, I guarantee you she's going to love
I don't even know what to
tonight after
say.
dinner.
I like how I said that first, and then you got mad at him.
Ryan ran with it.
I know. Can I have some more crackers?
Well, so Jerry and
Ryan-
I are going to hang out in Abilene this weekend.
Yes. It's gonna be fun.
it is.
What's nice about Abilene is there's no rattler snakes this time of year.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually gonna be pretty nice
It is.
because there was some rain in the forecast. Like if you
That's
looked at
gone,
the-
Rob said.
Yeah, no, it was when you looked at it last week towards the end of the week. Nate and I were talking. I said, "You see the weather?" He goes, "Yep." And then literally, it's like Iowa. It changed in like 5 minutes.
So those who make the trip down, pretty safe to do. Pretty safe bet that we're going to be
That's
racing. in
a
Abilene.
neat event. I mean, how long's 30 years? Did
30
you say,
years.
Brett?
Yeah, 30 years. So it's a
That's
safe drive
crazy.
down if you're going any across any state lines. It's going to be a safe place to go to.
Exactly.
Racing there's been good. I thought the last few years of racing in Abilene has been fantastic. Rob's got his racetrack figured out, and the racing there has been really, really good. So I'm kind of excited to go down there. I'm ready to see Rob and Libby.
Yeah, that's always a plus.
Ooh, how about some kettle corn?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's what
guarantee
was
she'll
thinking.
have some.
I guarantee you
If you
she
need-
will.
If you want kettle corn, Libby's got it. If you need your pool cleaned, Libby can do it.
I actually talked to her the other day. She was cleaning a pool.
Correct.
She cleans pools? I didn't
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
her. That's her.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's her full time gig.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
And
people.
if you want to see Rob, usually go to Shreveport.
Yeah, that's his other job. But good people. I'm looking forward probably more so than anything else to see Rob and Libby. So
You kind of touched on that. You know, the traveling sucks a lot of times, but when you got people like Rob and Libby and Peyton down there and
yeah,
really about everybody, I mean, it makes it so much easier once you get there. They make you feel so welcome. It's just
they do.
it's just fun. I mean, I look forward to the trips. KSP
And you're
here. in a
going to
couple
KSP
weeks.
like a week later,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Yep,
So
that's
we're
the
gonna be
plan.
a lot of IMCA guys hanging out in Texas in the next week or two.
Yeah.
And like Peyton said, Dave's going to the Clash this year. For those that are wondering if there's anybody
Super
over there.
Day.
Yeah, Dave is scheduled to go there. So we jump around every year. We try to figure out where everybody's going to go. Carson's been down at the RPM workshops in Florida,
Yep.
representing us down there. He's down there right now still.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're still kind of all over the place. So the racing's going to pick up. Anything else, guys?
think that's about it.
Make sure you watch the documentary.
Yes.
Tune into that. Tune into the racing this weekend in Abilene. Be on IMCA TV, pay-per-view. So there'll be some racing on finally.
You're announcing?
Live
Jerry?
racing.
Yep.
Jerry is racing.
Volume not
Is
required.
Announcing.
Mojave Valley. Is that Nate, producer Nate? That's scheduled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's starting. Well, it's
So
already
you'll have
started, but
plenty of options for racing this weekend on IMCA TV.
you will.
Yes, you will.
Plus the docuseries.
The docuseries.
So, football's
football's
ended.
over.
Yep.
And the Chiefs won, unfortunately.
Of course.
I knew he was going to say something.
No, all we got to do is get the Rangers to win the Stanley Cup, and it's been a good year.
Oh, well.
Well, that's all
So
I got.
when's the gang going to be back in town? A couple weeks, you guys? Probably a couple weeks. I don't know.
Well,
Our
it's probably
schedules
gonna be
start
till
picking
after
up.
the coast or after the Clash.
Yeah, because you're going to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so things will start picking up for you. It's tough. I wish we could do a podcast every week. I really do.
Yeah.
But with Nate's schedule, the IMCA TV schedule, with where Jim's off too, or you're off too, or I go, it's hard to all get us here at the same time.
Maybe like May 5th or 6th.
Nah, I hope we can get
March.
along.
I meant March.
We only did like 18 episodes last year. We need to do more than that. Yeah. Yeah.
No, we had some circumstances last year.
Yeah, last year's a
What's
shit
our
year.
What's our goal? What's our goal for this year? Let's set a goal.
How about we do 33? The number,
26 to 32 is what Nate says.
I like 33 because that's the number of starters in the modified feature. at the
It kind of
Super
sounds like
Nationals.
Ryan's age range.
Wow.
I'm sitting here minding my own business, working while you're running your freaking mouth. Man,
that's the
Jim.
best.
I'm not sure who lobbed up that softball, but
Nobody.
holy shit, did Jim crack it out the ballpark.
When people, there's like a delay where everybody thinks about what he just said.
No, I know.
I was right away like,
First thing I thought,
wow.
no, Jim's a little bitch. That's the first thing I thought. There was no delay. That just,
I don't know if you've seen him. He's not little.
oh,
Well, I mean,
It's the best.
holy
so
cow.
on that note, join us on IMCA TV, Abilene, Mojave Valley. Get the docu-series or get that $24.99 replay pass, and you can just...
Jim's just pissed he's old
Yeah,
now.
if you
and
have any
doesn't
race car
qualify.
rule questions and you're getting your car ready to go, obviously reach out to us at IMCA. We'll get those answered for you too.
Yeah, so you could be watching the races, working on your car, and
That's right.
getting answers to the rule questions all at the same time.
Quite possibly.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back later for number... Oh, it'll be like 3-3.
Yeah.
Triple Trace. Enjoy.